baby.
Before we do get started, I do want to give a huge shout out to Alabama Outdoors. They are helping us with this episode, and they wanted us to let our listeners and viewers know that they are doing a hiring event coming up at all three of their locations, the Homewood, don't let me mess this up, Inverness and Trussville. Yes.
Yeah, buddy.
So they're a big supporter of this episode, and they're hiring both full-time and part-time positions. So if anybody out there is interested in getting a cool job, working in a cool environment, getting rad discounts on a lot of really cool brands that they sell, and working in a store that supports like all kinds of outdoor activities. I know they do like a trail day or something.
Yeah, at
like,
Red Mountain, right?
At Red Mountain,
Yeah.
So, we'll have some information down in the description below, but you can visit them at alabamaoutdoors.com or check them out at follow them on Instagram at Alabama Outdoors Official. If I didn't screw that up.
You did it. That was good.
So cool.
First try, too.
First try, yeah. I bought some
Yay.
really rad flip-flops from them, and so, we like to support local companies doing cool stuff. But we have on this episode, we're talking to the dudes from Ride Birmingham, for which I know very little about, but we have Emile and Hobie here. So thank you guys for coming to kind of tell us about what all you guys have going on. And we were talking right before we got rolling. You said that you guys recently won it's like some Alabama business support competition thing. I don't know what is that.
Yeah, it's actually a really cool program. It's hosted by the EDPA, which stands for Economic Development Partnership of Alabama. So 3 times a year they have a pitch competition, and if you've got a startup business that's like, high growth or innovative or somehow value add to the state, you can go and pitch your business, and they have 2 prizes. One's for $25,000 and one's for $50,000. They basically just give it to you. It's non-dilutive funding.
Crazy.
Dude, that is crazy.
And, you can use it for whatever you are trying to do.
So you guys were a part of this. Is it like a competition, or do you just sign up and go and just give your pitch, and you're like, here's what we're doing with the money. Should we win it?
It's a competition.
Okay.
It's pretty hard to win, actually. And we've entered, this was our second time entering. We did not win the first time, and that drive back from Mobile late at night was very, very, very sad.
Oh, dude.
And I don't think we could have taken another loss in a drive back from Huntsville without winning. So
you guys, you said you won the $25,000, or I saw the big check.
yeah.
Yeah,
I saw that.
I got a big check in my house.
That's
crazy.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So
Can you cash those checks?
No.
Hang on your
I don't
wall.
think
No.
carry
We
it
could
to the
try.
bank.
You could try. That'd be cool.
But man, that's cool, dude. So tell me, for those of us, or for those out there listening or watching, what is Ride Birmingham? What are you guys doing? I see you guys building all this cool stuff, but I really don't know a ton about what is going on out in the woods close to Red Mountain.
Yeah, so it's a mountain biking park, and these exist in other states. We don't have one yet in Alabama, but the idea is we provide professionally built and maintained trails that are progressive, like you would find at a ski resort.
Okay.
And so you pay a day for a day pass or a membership. You get access to like the sickest trails in Alabama, basically. And they're supporting an organization that's agenda is to grow mountain biking here.
So we don't really have, obviously we have like Oak Mountain, and I think there are a few trails at Red Mountain Park, but nothing quite. Some of the stuff I see you guys building looks gnarly.
Massive.
It looks super big.
Massive.
Yeah.
Katie, if you scroll down, we've got your Instagram pulled up here, and I would encourage anybody listening to check us out on YouTube. Scroll down a little bit more. That picture on the right. So I was checking this photo out, and this is like, that's so big. Like if you scroll to the next photo, it has like, to give it scale, it shows a photo of like the tractor.
Yeah. It's 12 feet high. The lip's 12 feet high. The landing's like 22, 23 feet high.
Yeah.
So that's insane. So
That's the big jump.
Yeah.
The big jump.
that's the big jump. Well, it looks gigantic.
Every bike park needs a big jump in the parking lot. That's kind of what we've done some research and gone to other bike parks. So it's good to have a big signature feature that's very visible, so people roll up and they see
There's
you
this,
know.
this other bike park called Windrock is really where the idea comes from. It's like OG bike park outside of Knoxville, Tennessee. Shout out to those guys, but they have the Red Bull drop, which is
okay.
super famous. You come right above where the shuttle picks you up there, where everybody's parked, basically. Come motoring down this berm. You have to take the berm full speed, 20 plus miles an hour. It's like a 40-foot drop distance-wise into like a big jump, and everybody watches.
Dude.
So that's the first thing you see when you pull
This
up.
is the first thing
Oh,
you
okay.
see when you pull up as well.
Yep.
So that everybody's gonna be chilling in the parking lot eating lunch and just watching dudes wipe out on this massive jump.
It's actually, dude, our builder has done an amazing job of building big stuff that is also very hittable.
Okay.
And so one of the things you'll notice about it is the landing is a lot higher than the lip. It's called a step up jump. You guys are
okay.
familiar?
Yeah.
So, if you boost it, instead of having 12 feet that you're going to fall, the landing kind of picks you up closer to the
okay.
top.
So you're jumping up over the top.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
exactly.
gotcha. Somebody of my skill level, I was looking at these photos and I was like, man, I don't know if this is something I'm ready for. You know what I mean? Like just the type of park that it looks like you guys are building. So would you say this is more of a professional level park? I mean, people with some serious riding skills. I mean, obviously, I don't know. Or do you have like a beginner area? Or
Yeah,
something like that?
we've invested a lot in beginner trails, but the bigger stuff tends to make it to Instagram just because
Sure.
it looks cooler. But yeah, we have 2 full top to bottom beginner trails, and they are each about half a mile long.
Okay.
So it's a minute and a half. And they're really good. And if you can ride a bike, you can probably ride the beginner trails.
Okay.
Without killing yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
We also have a drop zone training area. So it's 3 sets of drops, 1 easy option, 1 hard option. And then also an intro to tech riding. So it's like berms and then like rocks.
Okay.
So there's a lot of beginner stuff there.
Yep.
And you guys were talking about, this is sort of I hear the terminology, kind of a ski slope style. So I know a lot of the I say local, we don't have any ski slopes in Alabama, but the surrounding states.
We got one.
Oh, we do?
Those guys are OG up in Mentone. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I have heard
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
But anyways, as far as ski slopes go, the surrounding states, in the summertime, when the off season, they'll actually let mountain bikers come use the ski lift to get to the top. And this is my vague understanding. But then bomb the hills, and just ride. I think there's like a rad one out in Virginia.
Yep.
So is that something you guys are trying to sort of mimic in a way?
Yeah. So I actually lived in Aspen for 4 years after college.
Okay. That's like a massive mountain.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, I didn't really get into biking when I was there because the bike park wasn't open, but I've made an annual trip back every year since. And they brought on a bike park so they run their ski lift in the summer. So a gondola, really. And then they brought in some like high-level trail contractors to come and dig some fun lines down, and you just do like lap after lap after lap, and it's kind of amazing.
Dude, that's so cool. And you just hop on the lift and ride back up. So you're not having to you go ride at some of the local trails and stuff. It's like a good give and take of shout out to Oak Mountain, first of all. I think they're building a lot of really cool trails, but I jumped on the Lightning Trail, which is like more of the probably style of trail that you guys are building. And man, it was pretty. I took it pretty slow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of berms and a lot of jumps, and there's even one wood feature where it's like a step down. There's a big sign saying, "Hey, if you don't want to ride this, go the other way." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so one of the things that we're doing that is a little bit different than Snowmass and a lot of the other bike parks that are out there is we are going to really focus on the beginners.
Okay.
So we're planning to have a perfect first day of mountain biking experience. Includes a rental, or you can bring your own bike, and then a little bit of instruction in a group setting. And we're going to try to make it really affordable.
Okay.
And the idea is, having taken many people mountain biking for the first time as part of research for this whole business, we really realized that most people don't do the right things intuitively,
Okay.
and some basic
Just have
understandings.
some bad habits. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, starting with how you stand on a bicycle out of the saddle, right? And just what your posture needs to look like and what your agenda needs to be mentally while you're riding. And they don't get it, and they do the wrong things left their own devices. So like a class that kind of goes over some of these fundamental things, like riding posture when you're out of the saddle, how to brake, how to tilt the bike a little bit underneath you in order to make turns and stuff.
That's 100% why I crashed.
Yeah.
We took off. We were on one of the trails at Oak Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a bike, so I'm riding my dad's like 90s bike, which is way too small
Cannondale,
for me.
man. Yeah, that was awesome.
And I feel like I was standing up, coming down the trail. The majority of my weight was over the front tire. So we came off like a root. It wasn't even, it was huge. It was massive. It was so big, this big drop down. And as soon as I hit, I just bottomed out and my body weight went over the bars.
Yeah.
He landed on a big pile of rocks. I was like, dude, he just got hurt
too.
like bad.
There are two things I don't like about mountain biking, and one of them is crashing.
Yeah.
Sure, that's fair.
It sucks.
It did
Good
suck.
thing to not like.
Yeah.
Well, how did all this get started, man? I mean, what are you guys' backgrounds in bike? You said you lived in Aspen.
I did
guess?
live in Aspen for like 4 years. And that was really formative for me. I moved back to Alabama. I think I was 25, or just right before I turned 26, to help start an urgent care company here, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Okay.
So I was like the third full-time employee of this urgent care startup that had a goal of opening 10 clinics in a few years. And
Probably a good skill to have, and, you know, the hobbies that you participate in.
yeah, well, yeah, I know a little bit about medical care at this point. But yeah, so we opened like 16 urgent cares in 2 years, and positioned that company to sell. And I decided to take some time off, and kind of like while it sold, basically. And then that was January 2020, and I thought I was gonna like get my black belt in jiu-jitsu, which is one of my hobbies. And
Oh, dang. Okay.
COVID hit in February, and I couldn't train at all because my dad's a little older and stuff. And I was just trying to be safe. But
Is your dad into jiu-jitsu too?
no,
Oh, okay.
not at all. And instead ended up like riding bikes all the time. And Hobie got into it with me. And
So before that, you weren't really into mountain biking?
we rode some. We were getting into it, but all of a sudden I had like infinite time on my hands. I started riding like every day.
How'd y'all meet?
Yeah.
I don't know
Let's
each
go
other.
back a while. So third grade.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Third
Okay.
grade,
Y'all
yeah.
been friends for a long time.
You guys are brothers, so we
Okay.
Sweet.
That's
Okay.
fair.
Third grade and neighbors.
Yep.
Yeah. So
grew up riding bikes around the
Yeah.
hood together in Cobb Heights.
yeah.
The hood, yeah.
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 Well, dude, that's awesome, man. So you guys get into bikes and start
Yeah.
riding, and I mean, do you guys take some trips out to
Yeah,
some
so
bike parks?
basically we got to where we wanted to like hit jumps and stuff, and there's just not very many around here.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so we started to travel to ride other places, and I was like kind of looking for something to do, and somewhere in all that, we also invest in real estate stuff. This is a long story.
Dude, we got nothing but time, man.
All right, we invest in some real estate stuff in Avondale and in Birmingham, and we had a mini excavator rented to like renovate or rip out the interior of this building in Lakeview. And that same day, we had actually bought a tax deed at a lot in Avondale, and we at the end of the day we got the guy that was running the excavator to teach us how to run it. We just extended the rental and like drove it across downtown Birmingham, 2 miles out.
yeah.
We have a video of it somewhere.
serious?
Yeah. We would the light would turn green and we would go through the light, and then before we got through the light it would turn red
again.
and cars were like honking.
Yeah.
We were like, what a
So we had this tax deed lot in Avondale that was going to take like a year to clear up the title on it, and so we just started trying to dig some jumps on it, and because we wanted to hit jumps.
Sure.
And 2 days later, we had 10 dudes out there.
Are you serious?
Every afternoon.
Yeah.
You guys know
Spread like wildfire.
well, so
go hit these jumps, man.
even earlier in this, we had started to like get more into biking, and we've kind of always been the best people in like our friend group that bikes, and so we had to like pursue people that are better than us in order to like try to learn from them. So we were at Oak Mountain State Park riding the pump track, and this guy named Kevin Little and his brother Scott Little were up there just slaying the pump track on BMX bikes.
Really?
And so I was like, I'm a kind of a persistent guy. And I was like, hey, can I have your number? And I got his number and just started to try to ride with him. And we told him, and then we turned around, there were like 10 BMX dudes out there, like so excited about having some jumps,
Wow.
It's like every afternoon for a whole week, working hard, shovels, rakes, wheelbarrows, and an excavator.
Yeah.
And we got like 17 jumps on this tiny piece of land. I mean, it was not very well done, but it was really cool to see that. Started looking at like a lot of other options on doing something biking related that would be like sustainable and better for Birmingham. We had some pretty cool ideas, honestly. But somewhere in there, we rode at this place called Mtn Bike Park up in Asheville.
Okay.
You want to tell them about Mtn?
Yeah, so I think the biggest impediment to us deciding to start a bike park is we had never seen one without a lift. And so a lift is a
Ski
huge, a lift is a huge barrier, or a shuttle, but it's also a huge barrier because it's a massive capital investment. If you want a lift or a shuttle, that's a lot of money right out the gate. And we had never seen a bike park be successful without one. But Mtn Bike Park does not have a lift or a shuttle. It is a pedal park, but people can rent e-bikes if they want to be shuttled up to the top. So those are pedal assist bikes that you pedal and you just go uphill. And so
Like, how do you get your bike that you're riding down the hill up there?
No. You rent. Yeah. It's the same bike. It's just a pedal assist bike.
Gotcha. But you can still bomb down.
Yeah. You turn off the pedal assist when you go down, or you leave it on.
He's got a pedal assist bike, but it's like
It is not a mountain bike.
dude. It's not a mountain
No.
bike. It's like a big, heavy.
Yeah.
But I guess the technology has come a long way.
Yeah. And so it was really amazing.
Yeah.
And
Did y'all rent bikes? Y'all rented these?
We actually are.
Or y'all are just badasses? And y'all just pedal to the top every time.
Yeah, Hobie's a psycho from a cardio perspective.
Well-
and I follow him around. So
we kind of went to the top a few times, but then they have this like awesome jump line that starts a third of the way up the mountain that you can just like lap.
Okay.
So it's only 50 vertical feet, so it's easy to get back up to the top.
Yeah. Okay.
And so afterwards we were like, that was awesome, and Emile tracked down the owner in typical fashion, and
yep.
he kind
Dude,
of
you are hardcore, man.
yeah.
Like one day there.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he kind of agreed to help us.
No, because he's an awesome.
Oh, he is an awesome dude. His name is Dave Lamond. He's a great guy, and I can really say that probably Ride Birmingham would not exist without him.
Yeah.
He gave us a lot of confidence and kind of helped us on, at least very much so at the beginning.
Yep. So much so that they agreed to come down and help us build some of our trails.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, he's just a really good dude. But we saw this model that like seemed like it was working, and I was in a position to just mess with it and try to see if I could find a location. So we rode at Canuga. We loved it. We decided that was like something that we could do, and we started looking for a location.
So you guys are close to Red Mountain, but you're not part of the Red Mountain Park per se.
Yep.
You got it.
But you guys are on Lakeshore. So super rad location. How'd you guys find the spot that you ended up being in?
Yeah, so early on in that process, actually, we have a few sites around Birmingham that we were like looking at, and trying to figure out how to do it, But we went and talked to a friend of mine knew the director of Red Mountain Park, and he introduced me. And the guy's name is TC. Shout out to TC, he's the man. Red Mountain Park is awesome, and a lot of that's in thanks to him.
Okay.
He's taken it in a great direction, and he was like, I
took all this land right here.
Yeah, I took him. So the concept we took him was that we were going to buy this tax delinquent lot on the north side of the park that was vacant. It's like 15 acres that was just, and it's not in the best neighborhood or the cleanest neighborhood. But we were going to take that down and then try to work with the park to put trails inside the park. That was our initial concept. And he immediately was like, no, I have 200 acres a little bit further down Lakeshore that's like we're not doing anything with. It's just sitting there growing kudzu. Wow.
Because you need the elevation.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're going to do a downhill mountain
Yeah,
bike
that's
park,
right.
So
Yeah.
it's not like you can just go find any plot of land.
Yeah. And so he was really into it, basically. And we talked about a lot of different ways to get it done. Ultimately, Red Mountain Park is kind of a crazy, unique organization. It was set up by like some specific state laws, and there's not another park like it exactly. So anyway, yeah, we got it that done in February, and we immediately began construction, and we've been building all summer, and we're trying to get open this fall.
Sweet. Okay. I think I watched one of your recent videos, and like I said, when you first walked up, I was like, "Oh, I recognize you, man. You're the dude that's all over the social media."
Yeah.
You said you guys were shooting for tentatively October.
Yeah.
To try to get open.
Yeah.
What's it been like working the land and actually trying to cut the trails, and where do you even begin to say like, here's where a trail should go, and this is.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like, how do you? Well, you're the professional.
I would just look at a hill and be
You're
like,
the professional.
let's come down this way.
So
that looks good.
We've learned a lot of lessons, haven't we? Emile?
we
Yeah.
have.
One of the lessons we've learned is that like heavy trail building is best left up to professionals. I mean, do you want to be driving a 10,000-pound excavator down a 45% grade trying to like bench in a trail? Probably not. I don't want to be doing that. But so what we did at the beginning is we actually hired some people from Canuga. They agreed to build us our first trails. So actually one of our trails is going to be called Canuga.
Okay.
And
Rightfully
if
so.
you're ever wondering, it's from Canuga Bike Park.
Which
Shout
you should
out
visit.
Canuga
You
Bike
should
Park.
Yeah,
visit.
man.
everybody
Yeah,
should visit Canuga. It's a sick park. And then we hired another trail company called Dial Dirt, and we just kind of, honestly, there wasn't a lot of planning. We just had 6 excavators out there in the first 2 months.
Just unleash them.
It was exactly.
So right, Bob's going that way, John's going
Yeah.
this way,
And-
Bill's going to go straight.
We knew at a high level like some of the trails that
Yeah.
we wanted, right?
Yeah.
And we were
Okay.
committed to building those. We didn't have like a master plan for things beyond that, which we probably should have had. But it has also worked out.
It was a lot of fun. And it has been a lot of fun.
So Dial Dirt is another professional entity of trail builders or something?
Yes, yeah. So they're a trail building company.
Trail building company.
Yeah, and they actually live at the site. So we have a little colony of trail builders that live on the site right now.
Are
I
you
think we
serious?
got like
They have RVs.
they all have
Yeah.
RVs. So we got like 8.
Oh, what a job,
That
man.
does
That'd be
sound rad,
cool.
yeah.
we got like 7 dudes out there.
They build all
and-
over the country too.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
great dudes.
So they're very good. They actually build backyard pump tracks. Like they could build you an insane jump line in your backyard or pump track. So yeah, they're amazing.
Sorry.
So,
I always tell my guests to turn their phones off, and then
Was that you?
yeah.
Rookie.
My Uncle Colin. I'm currently getting scuba certified, so that's my Uncle Colin. I'm sure to talk scuba stuff.
Yeah. Have you finished your test yet?
Finished my online. Yeah.
No shot.
Let's
really?
derail the podcast
I didn't mean
completely.
to. I didn't mean to. No.
Yes, we are just getting ready to do our dives, and I'll be scuba certified with water. So
that's awesome. Where are you going?
we'll do most of our training at Blue Water Park in Pelham.
Okay, cool.
So
Cool.
Is that
Are you going on a trip scuba diving somewhere?
once we get certified, we've got some trips planned. So, yeah, I've done scuba once in Jamaica, and my uncle did it recently on a 10-year anniversary, and he got in touch with me and was like, "Dude, you want to pursue this?" And so, yeah, another fun hobby. I'm
What's the big
investing
scuba
in.
place in Costa Rica? Playa del Coco.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, you should go to Playa del Coco.
Sweet, yeah.
Yeah.
Just buy me a plane ticket. I'll go out there.
It's easy, man. So you fly to San Jose and it's like a 2-hour bus ride.
Well, dude, yeah. So I've got too many hobbies to this podcast being one of them to pursue right now. But what were we talking about? I completely lost.
What it was like, kind of like putting the trail in.
Yeah.
And
So
Yeah.
to be clear, so Hobie and I have kind of like divided and conquered recently, and Hobie's been running construction, so he can tell you all about it.
But dude, I would imagine. I mean, it's not like you have to really know geography and stuff, and like you cut a trail in and work your ass off, and then come in after a big Alabama monsoon, and the whole trail's washed away.
well, that's happened.
and you're like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
I would just imagine
It's
it would be
not
very
been the kindest summer from a weather perspective.
Well, the thing that's killed us this summer is it's really dry. It's been really dry. And what happens is the trails get super dusty. And then it's like torrential downpour. And guess what? All that dust, we lose all that dirt.
different. Yeah.
I mean, I think the trails have weathered okay.
Yep.
Not terrible, but it hasn't been great. It's just, it's nothing we can't fix, but it's been, we've had erosion's a real thing, basically.
Yeah.
Well, when you ride at Oak Mountain, you see in several of the trails and stuff, and they kind of follow the dips and valleys and stuff. But you'll see basically they'll cut like a drainage ditch through a trail and then backfill it with like heavier stones and gravel and stuff like that. And I just imagine, as I'm riding over it, I imagine, okay, that's there to keep the whole rest of the mountain from washing away. There's actually a channel for the water to follow or something.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that was a lot to learn, but maybe having professionals to help you guys out
Oh, yeah.
helps
I mean,
a lot.
the only thing that we have really done is like we'll, me and a team will clear a trail and we'll like weed whack it and everything, and then we'll get our trail builder to put like specific jumps and berms, and we call them like natural trails, right? They're kind of like the trails that a lot of the trails at Oak Mountain are natural.
Yeah.
Meaning they're not no heavy machinery or limited heavy machinery. They're kind of off camber.
Kind of follow the natural
yeah,
curvature of the
exactly
land or whatever.
rocky.
Well, I saw a couple things. You had some big, massive pipe you guys were burying. I don't know if that's something you dug out of the mountain or something you added.
Oh, you're talking about the one that's like as big as this
yeah,
table?
go back to.
I missed that.
Okay,
go through
so
the photos. If you scroll down,
scroll. It's up, I think.
or maybe it's up.
Are you talking
No,
about
no.
It's in the most recent one?
Why don't we pull up Dial Dirt's Instagram?
Yeah, pick that up.
Yeah.
Definitely on there.
So go
Click right. There
that
it
one.
is.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so
stuff like this.
So that's in our drop zone, and the idea is like that is going to be the one of the tops of the drops. But I think it's cool because people are probably going to someone's going to go probably in that thing, and you can take a photo of someone going over you.
yeah.
Whoa.
That thing is
Or we're
actually
gonna run a Strider track
Yeah.
through it. That'd be kind of cool too.
Or get some drones out there to follow you guys.
Oh
and stuff,
yeah,
dude.
it's happening on Friday afternoon. If you want to come out.
that thing is so heavy that we almost couldn't move it. The bulldozer almost couldn't move it.
Yeah.
The bulldozer can move.
Where do you get a giant pipe, man? Where do
Yeah,
you
so
find
all right, that is the real story. We
Wait,
didn't, so
well,
did not take that
Yeah,
out,
I'm
of,
not
out
sure.
of something that
So that's not concrete.
that is concrete.
It is concrete.
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
You just
So-
robbed it from some.
I love it.
We
They don't
found it.
need this over here, man. Yeah.
No, our parking area, we got to make sure that nobody thinks we're doing stuff we're not supposed to. So our parking area is in this like previously excavated thing that we call the church pit. So this whole site was actually like kind of screwed up when we.
What was it?
So
Was it
was
anything?
old mining territory. Like the top of the mountain. If you look on a GPS topographical view of the top of the mountain, you can see like a channel through the top of the mountain where they excavated forever ago. And then at the bottom, they actually came in and dug out this like whole set next to the end of the road for chert mining, which is like a material that contractors use for the base of driveways. It's like a dirt. That's,
Yeah, I've heard that term, but
Yeah.
I just never knew really what it was.
and
or
so
anything.
it's like this previously excavated like cesspool, basically.
But we're happy it's there because otherwise there'd be no flat land on the entire property.
Yeah.
Therefore, we'd have no parking lot.
Yeah.
Therefore, there'd be no ride Beham.
Here, pull up the parking. Exit that post. You posted about parking days.
I put a story up.
go to can you go to our stories?
Yeah.
Let's see. So all the stories are right there.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is a cool video. This is one of our trail builders that is an incredible biker.
What's his name?
His name is Alec
Rutherford.
Rutherford, and he will actually be.
So, man, looking at this video, it looks like you guys got some serious trails.
So this is the chert pit. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
Okay.
we're turning it into a parking area.
Dude, that's
and
massive, man. I
Yeah.
guess I was expecting something smaller.
this is a big.
No.
Yeah, it's a big project. So anyway, the pipe was in the dirt that was already excavated. It was like
Just
it was broken and like sideways in the dirt, basically, as we were moving it aside. And
Like,
so,
what can we do?
Like, hey, we can use this.
well, RIDE is actually an acronym for our core values, and one of our things that like I just genuinely take a lot of satisfaction out of is anytime I can take something that's been like wasted or thrown away and find some value in it, you know.
Yeah.
And so we try to do that like throughout the park, including the piece of land. So like back in the 50s, this land was mined and they removed every piece of vegetation on the whole thing. I mean, it looked like the moon, basically. And then they reforested it, I guess. But people also planted privet, which is a massively invasive species in kudzu, to like stabilize the dirt when they stopped mining or decided it wasn't worth it or whatever. And they just screwed up this piece of land, basically.
Yeah, man, there's nothing worse than finding a piece of property that's just covered in kudzu.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You can't get rid of it and it just last.
This wasn't covered in kudzu. It's on like the fringes, but like if we don't take care of it, it will be covered in kudzu in some amount of time.
How do you get rid of kudzu?
Yeah.
We'll
Don't
let
you have to like
we'll let
find
you-
like where it's like
yeah, we'll
growing
let you know when we
from?
Well,
figure it out.
One of the things that we did was interesting. Was we rented this thing called we rented a mulcher, but it's an attachment that goes on a skid steer. This thing will just annihilate kudzu. But
And privet.
and privet, and basically it will go through anything. But this thing is scary, and
So the woods, when we moved in, like if you tried to go in there in the middle of summer, it was like dangerous.
you couldn't go in there.
Yeah.
It was like too thick.
You would have too many ticks on you. There are like too many mosquito. Like it's a jungle.
Wolverines.
Yeah, and most of it's privet, so it has trees on it, but it's got these little bushes that people plant called privet that then grow to be like privet trees, and they're like head high and they're everywhere, so thick. So we rented this mulcher. This is not something we planned on doing or spending money on, but we rented a Cat 279 mulcher. It's a like 10,000 pound skid steer, and on the front of it, it's got a 3,000 pound cheese grater with like metal teeth. And you can just draw, and it'll dissolve any vegetation up to something that's like that big around. And so we cored out this forest, and we've got now we have like a canopy. The trees are still there, all like medium and old trees we left. But then everything else you have like space, and it's like really nice because this time of year in Alabama, if you're in like an exposed area, it's too hot to ride.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So it provides maybe some shade. and
Yeah,
stuff for you
exactly.
guys. That's rad.
So when we moved in, we thought like people were going to hang out in that big parking area that we showed you. But once we started like gutting out this forest a little bit, and
I'm like, hell no, I want the shade.
yeah,
man.
it's like shade is so nice.
Yeah.
So we've really like created a lot of communal spaces at the bottom, right beneath the big jumps that are like shaded and chill.
Well, do you guys have any big plans for the parking area to like maybe have a hangout area or put some picnic tables or some covered pavilions or something like that?
We'll have picnic tables at the beginning in the woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we basically are paying for all this, and so
Sure.
we can
Well, how's all this being funded? Is this just you guys?
So we
I mean, obviously you
yeah.
won the 25,000, so that's helping a little bit.
We
but-
joke that we spent our life savings moving around dirt on public land. So.
Yeah, that's basically the truth.
on public land.
Yeah.
Yeah, we moved around a lot of dirt on public land.
Yeah. So
And how many acres?
we've got
Well-
200 acres.
200 acres.
We're developing like maybe max 100 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta have a beginning goal, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many trails are you guys going to try to have when you initially open?
We have about 10 right now, top to bottom 10, and then we also have some branches. So maybe one trail will go down halfway and then branch into 2 trails.
Okay.
So if you want to go down, maybe there's a blue trail and it splits into a black option, and then or you could continue on blue. So we kind of have this trail tree concept where one trail might become several, and you can kind of pick your option.
Are trails rated the same way they are on ski slopes, like black diamond, blue, green, all that stuff?
Pretty much. So one thing we're doing differently is we'll have a double blue rating. So instead of just going blue to black diamond, it's going to be blue, double blue, black diamond. That
So
way,
it's not quite black diamond, but not quite blue.
exactly. It's
So
like in between. Yeah.
It's rating the trails is actually really difficult. That's
Yeah, it's
one
hard.
thing we've learned. It's
I would
like
imagine.
our standard for what something is
Well, that's easy, dude. That's a green, bro. You get some 12-year-old that kills himself. You're like, okay, maybe that would be green.
early on. I brought
Maybe
one,
that was a double blue.
I brought one of my.
Pink.
So we're gonna have some like kid friendly trails, and if you really haven't done this before, that's probably where you should start.
Okay. The bunny slopes.
Yeah, the bunny slopes, and then we haven't built these yet, but we're planning on coming back to some like flat beginner flow trails. So imagine if you like stretched the pump track out so it was more linear and didn't have the 180 berms. It'd be kind of like that.
See, I've never done a pump track on a bike.
Dude.
That's cool. Like I got introduced to the pump track when the skate park was built. Rad pump track, really fun on a skateboard. But I would imagine a pump track on a bike, and maybe you guys posted one. It was like a concrete one that you guys were riding. When you say pump track, it's all dirt. I mean, are you going to come back and?
We want to do an asphalt.
An
one
asphalt
when
one?
we get open, hopefully, and this goes okay, and we can afford to do one. That's one of the early things.
What makes that more fun? Just like the smoother ride, and just faster?
No maintenance.
No maintenance.
No maintenance.
But also, since the smoothness is so much better, like smaller wheels work on it, so you can have fun on.
Could you skate it?
Yeah, you could definitely skate.
Oh, dude. Okay, that's awesome.
And they have one kind of at the skate park downtown. So
Oh yeah, no, they absolutely do.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's what I was talking about earlier.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
But
But also like kids on scooters,
Yeah.
and even Strider bikes can have a good time on that kind of thing. So
well, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Man. So 10 trails, shooting for October. Do you guys feel confident that you'll be able to I mean, apart from the volunteers and people that you guys know that have come to ride, it's not really open to the public yet. Like if I came tomorrow,
Yep.
you guys aren't really advertising like, "Hey, come ride our trails."
We're not open.
Yeah.
Not open.
Not
Okay.
open. It is a construction site. We don't have any signage up. Like we're not policing the trails. There might be a tree down. Like you should not come ride it.
Or a piece of heavy machinery on a trail.
If you want to die, sneak in and go ride.
Yeah,
the
that's
trail.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you want to check it out, then volunteer. Come volunteer for a couple hours, and then if you want to ride after we volunteer, we let people do so on a few trails.
That's cool.
That we make sure like the way that we want it to be when we're opening, because we're also under construction right now. We're not maintaining what we've built,
Yeah.
and so we're aiming to knock it out of the park from a riding experience.
Well, it's September 1st at the time of this recording. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Good there.
I think talking a little bit about what you would see in October might be helpful. So in October, what we hope to have done is a nice looking parking area, which you got a peek of. We'll have gravel down in it. And then you bike over to the edge of the woods, and we'll have 2 shipping containers. That
I was going to ask about this.
yeah, and so one we're building out as a little bike shop. This is not a permanent structure. This is a temporary structure. We can take
Bike shop, man. That's
a
awesome.
bike shop. It's not a permanent. It's like a bike trailer, really. And then we'll have like a fleet of bicycles and e-bikes that you can rent.
E-bikes.
Yes.
Whoa.
So we haven't talked about the e-bike thing, but it's cool. And then we will have some lessons, and we'll have like 10, world-class ski resort style downhill trails behind it, and include some flat beginner trails too. And we'll play music, and there'll be a taco truck.
That sounds so rad.
That sounds awesome, man. You guys are doing all kinds of stuff, dude. So if you get a flat while you're out there on the trail, you have a little bike shop, get basic repairs, I would expect.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll see. I mean, so the e-bike thing is really interesting. With a proper e-bike, you can do 40, 50 laps from the top of
So I was
Red
going to
Mountain.
ask, is e-bikes frowned upon?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Good.
Not if you want to get better.
Where? At Ride Birmingham? No, but some state parks don't allow them.
Yeah,
So-
I was kicked out of 2 for having of course, mine's just like not a mountain e-bike, but like it wasn't classified as a bike. They're like, you can't ride it here. And even if I took the battery off of it, they wouldn't let me
A
ride
lot
it.
of places have some confusion because, all right, there is an argument to be made that if you have a throttle assist, like a bike that you don't have to pedal,
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
it's
you're
really a
smart.
It's
motorcycle.
a scooter with pedals.
Yeah, okay. But our bikes will be pedal assist. So you have
Gotcha.
to pedal. You have to get a little bit of exercise. But really on this thing, you can like sprint up the hill.
Okay.
And so you're talking about like 40, 50 laps on a given half-mile trail when you're a beginner. From the top to the bottom, that leaves you like a lot of time to think about improving your technique and your posture, and like
Yeah,
you've
you're
seen
not
this-
just dead.
yeah, exactly.
Because, shout out Oak Mountain and Lightning Trail, just getting to the top of the damn thing, man. I was
Yeah.
like, I hit the trail once. I barely made it down the bottom. It's my first time ever doing it. I was like, I'm done, because I fought like hell just to get to the top and ride it down. So, yeah, that's cool that, you wouldn't be so exhausted. You would actually have time to improve your technique.
It also makes it safer, man. My experience in riding has been like I'm way more likely to crash near the end of the day than the beginning. It's because you get tired, right?
Yeah, you're fatigued mentally, physically.
So if your goal in riding is to be fit, then that's one style of riding. If your goal in riding is like have fun, that's kind of what we're about.
Yeah, we will have a cross country trail too, because not downhill is not for everyone. So we'll have a 3.5 mile cross country course, which will be done probably early next year. So
Cross country. What's a cross country course look like? It's just flat,
it goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways. So it's kind of like Oak Mountain. Oak Mountain is mostly cross country
That's how
outside
you
of
classify those.
Lightning. But yeah, so it's like up, down, undulating, and so yeah, we will have cross country.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sweet, man. It sounds like you guys are offering something for everybody.
Yeah.
And, the taco truck thing and having something cool in the parking lot. That's pretty rad, man.
That draws from my experience in Aspen is like, and then I also was lucky enough to like spend a bunch of time in Latin America.
Okay.
Kind of on the beach surfing and stuff. Actually, right after college, Hobie and I went to Costa Rica we bought one-way tickets to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
We made it 3 months before we ran out of money.
Dude, that's awesome, man.
I think our bodies were both in shambles. Like I got like 2 infections from like board rash, and I was like, I got to go back. Also,
wear a wetsuit,
we
man.
were like remote and like we weren't eating very well, so I was like, I think I weighed like 140, and I was like so skinny. I was like, I need to go back. I need to go back and eat fast food.
But
And
we were in the water like 6 hours a day every day trying to learn how to
Living the
surf.
dream,
Trying to learn
baby.
how to surf.
surfing's hard.
It is hard.
It's like one of the hardest sports. It's way harder than mountain biking, in my opinion.
Yeah. But so, surfing and then having beers with friends afterwards, skiing and then having beers with friends afterwards. Those Saturdays have always been my favorite Saturdays,
Yeah.
And early in COVID, we'd go to Oak Mountain and we'd drag friends with us and put them on bikes and, have some beers in the parking lot afterwards. I don't think you're supposed to do that, but we did it. Yeah.
It's kind of
Well,
accepted, I think.
yeah. Well, so, I was like, dang, these Saturdays. And then we end up at one of the breweries downtown, like, Trim Tab's kind of our spot, and they're all good. And, man, those Saturdays were on par with some of my favorite days I ever had surfing in Latin America or skiing in Aspen. It's just like kind of hard to recreate that as it is, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of beer, do you guys need a refill? You good?
I'll take another one.
Yeah, one more is good.
Well, I wanted to ask. Get back up to my mic. I wanted to ask the check that you guys got printed out. It actually says like something along the lines of like Ride Resorts
Yeah.
or something. So are you guys
We would
planning
like to do this.
something a little bit bigger than maybe just a? I mean, when you say resort, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a place where you
Cabin
can go
in the
and stay,
woods,
cabin
yeah.
in the woods.
Yeah. So phase 2 of Ride Birmingham, what we hope to be able to offer is some of the things that you guys were talking about down in that parking area. We would like to have like a big pavilion that's got fans on it and shade, and you can take a yoga class or eat lunch or whatever, and it doubles as an amphitheater. There's like actually this 100-foot high cliff, maybe it's 80 feet.
It's really high.
Yeah, that was previously it's where they excavated to in the hill basically, and we want the pavilion to kind of face that and see if we can turn it into an amphitheater, maybe like grass up to the.
Dude.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Rock concert. You can do the next Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're calling it Bama
Red Rocks.
Yeah,
Bama Red Rocks.
Bama Red Rocks. Yeah.
That's right. Charlie Tuna's gonna make an appearance, I hope, one day.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, and then some glamping units, and we're gonna do like Sprinter van camping spots that are legit, and a good bathhouse, and have it be like a place that you can stay. And then resorts is plural because we would like to do this again if it goes well.
Yep.
And we're
That's awesome, man.
we're actually working on a second location right now.
Whoa.
So not ready. We're very early in the process, working hard on it, but trying to find another spot.
So this would be a place where you pay for the day. Can you tell us a little bit about like what would the rates look like for somebody who wanted to come ride?
Yeah, it's gonna be around $30.
Okay.
What Canuga did is awesome, and it seems to work. So we're not trying to differ that far from it. One of the cool things about working with a park like this is, we didn't have to buy this land off the bat, and so that really makes
It's a huge cost saver.
Yeah, exactly. So trying to keep it affordable, around $30 for a day pass, and then somewhere around $50 a month for an annual membership. Yeah.
Oh, so the membership, man, you go
That'd be
twice.
rad.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
the
it's
day
worth it.
pass is really for you to try it, basically, and then if you want to do it on the regular, I hope you're a member. It'd be awesome. And then tourists, like a big part of the reason that we won that pitch competition, which was mostly against like tech companies, was
All these tech dudes are like bringing all this technology
I
and
got the
stuff. And
next
you guys like were
perfect
there
app.
because you're on your bikes,
Yeah.
like with the check
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff. So
man.
you took your bikes, I guess, to this event. You're
props.
like,
You got to have a prop for a
yeah,
proper
man.
pitch.
Dude, that's so funny. Where was it held?
It was at the Hudson Alpha Bio Institute for Technology.
Perfect
Yeah.
place to
Yep.
pitch a mountain bike. park.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. But so, we hope to do more of these, and we would love to do like 2 or 3 in Alabama, such that if you're a member at one, you can ride at the others.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's kind of the value proposition of the membership, and I think that it would work in some other towns too.
So when you look at other places, I mean, obviously the geography has to work. You know what I mean? Like, and I would think that maybe, I don't know, man. We were hiking at Oak Mountain the other day, and I was surprised. We went up to a spot called King's Chair, and it was a new spot that we had never hiked to before. And I was amazed at how high up we were
Yep.
looking out. And I was like, dude, I didn't even think there were spots. I know, Cheehaw is like the highest point in Alabama.
That's what I was going to say. Cheehaw.
But I mean, I don't know if you can tell us about some of the spots you're looking at, but I would imagine that plays a huge role in kind of limiting where you can build these parks and kind of do what you guys are doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we have a few criteria. Like, there needs to be vert. I mean,
Okay.
you actually don't need that much vert to build a great park.
So when you say vert, are you just talking about like
Vertical.
Vertical feet.
Vertical
so
feet, okay.
so our site has about 200.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vert. Oak Mountain has 500 feet.
I don't know, in spots. Yeah.
Yeah. It's Oak Mountain's, like you said, it gets high. It is a large mountain. We also another big thing is it needs to have some flat area. You'd be surprised, like a lot of pieces of land we've looked at, it's like just total mountains, and you're like, there's nowhere to build a parking lot or anything on this land. So,
doesn't really work?
yeah. And then we've been lucky. Well, I don't know, lucky or unlucky. There have been 0 rocks on this site. 0 big rocks.
Okay.
Which is weird.
That is cool.
Very weird. Mostly just clay and like red dust. But in other places we've looked at, it's been like so rocky that you're like, well, if we dig down, is there any dirt? Is it just rock?
Oh man, how heartbreaking! You buy a
So-
piece of land and then you go to dig, and it's
Dude.
just like boulder after boulder after boulder.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a spot in Alabama, and there's a dude that has a YouTube channel where he hits like all the 50 states and rides. And he stopped in Alabama. It was cool. I can't think of the name of the dude.
I know
It
who
was
you're
like
talking
Blue Mountain or something. Is that a place?
I think he went to Dothan. I think Dothan had.
But it had a lot of rocks, but it was like big.
Yeah.
It was a big mountain.
Is that
I want to say it was Blue Mountain.
is that the page that posts all the fails? Is that something
Friday fails, pink
Friday
bike.
fails? Yeah, we were talking
Yeah.
about that weeks
Well,
ago.
there's a Follow Cam Friday guy, and he usually rides out in like Utah and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I thought they were posting stuff from Alabama.
Yeah, we had a shout out to the guys from Bump. They were on a few months ago, and we talked mountain biking and stuff, and all the cool things that they have going on. And I think during that podcast, they talked about the Friday Fails. They're gonna kill me. I'm gonna think about it after we quit recording, but I can't think of it.
Friday. Don't watch Friday Fails.
Yeah.
Don't watch Friday. They'll just turn you off.
Bad
Yeah.
juju.
Yeah.
You
Don't watch
wanna
it.
Don't think about crashing. Just don't think about it.
But
Yeah.
there are a lot of rocks at Oak Mountain, so that's awesome, man. Having like cool, just an empty canvas, if you will, that you
Yeah.
can like work with and manipulate and do cool stuff
Yeah.
with.
We actually think our park is actually very complementary to Oak Mountain. So we have a lot of flow and a lot of jumps, and if you want to go ride just amazing rocks, you can go to Oak Mountain. Like have you been on Boulder Ridge?
No,
Boulder Ridge is crazy. It's like rocks the size of the room we're in.
that's crazy.
Like just the biggest rocks I've ever seen.
I forget how big Oak Mountain is, but no, man, some of them we hit like some of the basic trails. The Slingshot is a new trail that they built, and then I've hit Lightning like once or twice.
How many times have we hit Lightning, Emile?
Many.
See, I bet I
hundreds.
would, dude. It's like you see these videos of these dudes riding, and you think like, oh, I could do that, but you don't realize just how difficult it is. Or like a lot of people are filming with GoPros, and I think it does a terrible job of showing you the grade.
Oh
Just
yeah.
how steep it is,
Dude,
man. It almost
everything
makes
looks
it look
smaller
flat.
on camera.
Everything looks
Everything.
small.
If
Yeah.
you see something that looks big on camera, it is enormous.
Dude, I see people skating like the small bowl at our skate park downtown in Birmingham, and it just looks so micro. And then you get there, and I'm like, dude, this is like
aggressive.
it's a little bit bigger than it looks on camera. So yeah, cameras don't do anything justice.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
We rode. One of the cool things about being in this business is every time we ride bikes, it's research.
Yeah, exactly.
So we just went to New England and rode at 3 bike parks up there, which are all like ski resorts fitted out as bike parks in the summer. And there's a Thunder Mountain Bike Park. Shout out to those guys if you do ride. You should go check them out. But they have this like wooden jump line that is advertised as the biggest public
Dude, you
jump
guys
line.
are man. That's crazy.
Biggest public jump line in the east, and it is amazing.
Yeah, it's called Fort Hill. It's famous. You should Google it, watch a YouTube video, and just realize like it looks big on camera, but in person, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like first features it's like probably 12 feet. It's a 12-foot drop, but you also have to travel about 15 feet from the edge of the wood to the landing.
Yeah.
Can we pull that up?
I was about to say, do y'all have
Yeah, yeah.
videos of any of this stuff?
Go to my personal page.
And where would that be?
King _
King Mountain Biker.
Mountain
_
Biker.
Hobart. There. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, go to my reels. Scroll down. Fort Hill is gonna be the
Go watch
video.
the blooper one.
Yeah. So it's the one of the guy dropping off that wooden thing.
This one right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you could let the audio play.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it looks. I mean, even on camera, that looks
Yeah.
rad. But
And then
maybe, I would imagine if I was there in person looking at this,
You think you would do it?
I know. Not
No,
at
you don't
all.
think so?
Look
You
at that,
shouldn't.
dude.
You shouldn't.
you
if you're
should
not
you
ready.
shouldn't do it. You should have ridden for years before you hit this. Go to the video right before this too. So you exit out of this. It's the one or after, I should say, the farthest to the right.
Yeah, to the right, top right.
Top
Yeah,
right.
this one, this
more up.
dude's like launching.
This one's
up.
pretty funny too. This is me.
This is you.
Yeah. I like hip jumps for some reason. It's like when you jump one
like
way
kinda
but land
tweak it
in
a little
another.
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
This is Mountain Creek. This is not.
Yeah.
Thunder Mountain.
That's an awesome little
So that's kind of like a step up
That's
sort
a
of
step
jump.
up,
Yeah,
yeah.
that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
cool.
But do the top right.
do the
one.
top right one.
Yeah.
So this jump is like 35 feet or 40 feet.
Man, this aspect ratio is really doing justice.
It'll look better on camera. Yeah. See, dude, I just feel like the camera's not doing it justice.
It's not. It's like 35 feet. It's
crazy.
massive.
Is that the biggest jump you've ever done?
Dude, and you're hauling.
I think so.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at the dust coming off the
Yeah.
back, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a cool line.
It's actually not like if you can hit a 15, 20 foot jump, you can hit that jump. It's the same mechanics. It's just a lot bigger. You need to take it a lot
A little
faster.
more airtime. You know?
More airtime, yeah. The middle one, well, we have a blooper video from our trip, which is pretty funny. But this one is an awesome. This is called Hollywood. This is one of the best jump lines I've ever ridden. Built by Gravity Logic. They're
you
super
are
famous.
going
Look how fast
so
you're going,
fast.
dude. Oh my God.
No, sir.
That's crazy.
No.
See, Barry Nobles posted a video of him riding Lightning, and I was like, "Oh, that's mellow." And then I go and do it, and I'm like, "Oh no way, this is
Yeah.
crazy." Yeah, this is like super fast, super cool though, man.
Yeah.
so we get,
Massive jumps, man.
not to make you guys jealous, but we get to go ride places like this and ride it off our taxes.
It's great.
Research. God, dude, that's
We got to go study the other parks, man.
That's right.
We have, I counted all the jumps that we had that were 8 feet or longer at Ride Beham. We have 53.
53.
53 jumps that are 8 feet or longer. And
Man,
So many.
it's excessive. We have a lot of jumps we have several that are 20 feet or longer. So we're not gonna have any like monster like 40 footers,
sounds
but
monster,
but the 20 footers that we have are amazing.
So yeah, we talk about what we're excited about, which is definitely having access to like features where we can continue to grow as bikers. But I will also say we have a lot of really killer beginner stuff.
Yeah,
That's cool.
And everything in between, right? So it's like kind of like a training ground for like learning how to be as steezy as you can.
yeah.
well, there's a lot of dudes. I mean, that like you go to Oak Mountain. I know we've talked about them to the gill, but you see all these license plates from people all over, and I know
yeah.
that's like a major destination, man.
Yeah.
People drive from all over the country to come ride here, and when we had the dudes on from Bump, they were like, "Man, you just don't realize like the terrain that we have in Alabama is like perfect for mountain biking. Like we're really blessed to have like the landscape and stuff that we have." So I would imagine, yeah, man, it's like a lot of people would travel from all over to ride here, and I know there's a lot of people that are wanting to like push themselves, and maybe they reach that ceiling, up until this point. It's like, okay, I've hit Lightning a million times. I'm ready to. What's the next thing? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, and wanting to push themselves and hit bigger jumps and have something for more of the advanced crew of riders. You know what I mean? Like you guys.
Yeah,
that are
so
like,
that's kind
"I
of
wanna launch
like
off a 40-foot jump. I'm not scared.
One
Let's
of
do
the
this."
main reasons that we did Ride Beham is that as riders, we hit our ceiling riding everything around here. We'd done everything. We'd ridden Lightning probably a million times, and
We could probably do it better. There are bikers that are better.
they're better than us. Yeah.
But
I mean,
you're at least comfortable enough to where you're like, I can hit this trail.
Yeah.
I'm not scared. I'm pushing
What's
myself.
next?
Like, what's
yeah,
next?
exactly. So, and then we observed that like everyone that was good in Birmingham was driving to Windrock, which is in Knoxville. It's a long drive. It's 4.5 hours. or Cayuga regularly, and so I'm like, well, why? There's no reason that could not exist here. We have the vert, we have the terrain. It's just no one has put together something like this.
That's wild, man.
so-
like the history of mountain biking here in the state, like nobody else is like. Are you guys kind of the first ones to do this and like really push the sport?
There's
here
one
in
other
Alabama?
bike park.
There's this place called Pink Flamingo Bike Park
We haven't
that
been.
I've
already
never been.
sold.
It's in
Sounds awesome.
it's in Limestone County, and it's kind of like a young. I think it's a young dude, and he's a farmer, and he basically
Flamingo.
and yeah, he built like a little. I think it's flat, but it has like jumps. But it's Pink Flamingo Bike Park. So
Oh, shout out
He's
Pink
OG.
Flamingo.
yeah, Pink
dude.
Pink Flamingo.
Dig
Yeah.
the name at
Yeah.
the very least. That's
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
Yeah. But we get excited about the stuff where, people our level and above can continue to like grow as bikers. But also started with the observation that if you wanted to try mountain biking, it's really difficult right now. And you're probably not going to do it right left to your own devices. And so we'll be the only place in Alabama where you can rent a bike and get a lesson at the trail.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's rad.
Kind of get some fundamentals down.
Yeah.
And not learn the
Yeah,
wrong way.
and you can rent a good bike too, like a 2022 Rocky Mountain Growler or 2022 Rocky Mountain full suspension bike.
Shout out to Rocky Mountain.
Yeah,
They've been
Rocky
awesome.
Mountains.
Yeah.
We're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So how did that partnership come about? They just saw what you guys were
The
doing.
actually Cayuga like kind of endorsed us, and they were like, yeah, we'll support you, and
They want to get a foothold in our state, man.
exactly.
Yeah.
They're Canadian brand. They're trying to get down into the South.
Okay. Well, that's awesome.
That's
dude.
sick.
So
Well,
Ro-
big things coming, man. That's cool.
I don't want to talk about Rocky Mountain and not also say thank you to Ferris.
Oh, yeah.
With Caba Cycles. Caba Cycles has also been very supportive and is going to provide a lot of bicycles for us to be able to rent out to people at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's just been like a real hero.
Yeah, we
for
got to get
us.
him on the podcast, man. I don't know if I could talk enough. I don't know if I have enough cycle nomenclature to have a good conversation with him, but I could try. So,
Yeah.
well, dude, I'm excited for you guys. This is rad. I don't know if I want to go ride with you guys anytime soon. I probably couldn't hang it all.
Well,
but
I like riding green trails.
Yeah.
Our green trails are actually super fun. Like there's like some 6-foot jumps. They're not big.
Okay.
You can roll them. It's fine. I love our green trails. They're super fun. Even as someone that's decent. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's one of the cool things about riding, right? Is like people of every ability level can have a good time riding.
Sure.
Yeah.
Together even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just do like more tricks.
I just need to ride a little more, get a little more comfortable. I know on the Slingshot Trail at Oak Mountain, there was a couple little jumps. I let my tires come off the ground a little bit, and I was like, okay, feeling good.
Yeah, that's
you
where
know?
it starts. You just get it a little bit at a time, and then all of a sudden you're
You twist your handlebars the wrong way and eat shit and die.
Yes.
It's just like, okay, yeah, broke my collarbone.
You don't think about that part.
You can't think about that part.
Yeah.
Don't watch Friday Fails.
That's right. And get a lesson.
Get a lesson.
Yeah.
Well, that's rad that you guys are offering. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you guys have your hands full doing all the different things that you want to do and just the future that you guys envision for the park. And that's awesome, man. I'll definitely come check it out. And you just point me to the easiest trail to start on. So,
Emile, you talk about the after school program?
Yeah, sure.
what?
And so we're a benefit corporation, by the way. So why don't Emile, you talk about that?
Yeah.
What is that?
That's a good question. So, actually, Alabama Power Foundation and Fordiff Law kind of pushed to make benefit corporations the thing in Alabama over the last few years. And so, a benefit corporation is a for-profit entity that also thinks that like you got to do more to be a responsible corporate citizen of the world. And so, generally, they espouse a cause or some kind of thing in the vein of sustainability and climate change or in education or something where like society is kind of off track.
Public health.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
exactly.
That's somewhere Alabama could stand to improve.
So we incorporated as one of the early benefit corporations in Alabama. We're actually a benefit LLC technically, but this is kind of better for startups. And as a benefit corporation or as a benefit LLC, we are committed to saving 20% of slots in any kids programming that we do for kids that don't normally have access to, experiences like this.
Well, I imagine the kind of barrier to entry, we've talked to some skateboarders and stuff. They're doing similar things.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, you kind of have to have a couple $100 to kind of even get started with decent gear, protection, and all that stuff.
Yeah, and our location is really cool because, we're a little bit west of Red Mountain Park on Lake Shore. We really do sit at the intersection of Birmingham, Bessemer, Hoover, and Homewood, and everything's like a 10-minute drive at the most. So it's a chance that kids from both sides of the mountain can really have a good time together, right, and form real relationships. So we're going to save 20% of slots, and we actually might even do more than that at the beginning for kids in those kinds of circumstance. And the idea is they'll get to ride our rental bikes in small groups with coaches like us, right, and learn how to
showing them the ropes. And stuff. Yeah.
And then over time, we want to layer in some services like a hot and healthy meal at the end of the night. So we're going to look for a community partner that'll provide food. And then maybe even one-on-one tutoring, like academic support for kids and, whatever it is that they're struggling with at school.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and, it doesn't take a lot of time to see that, like, sometimes kids are, like, so off track that, school isn't going to be able to handle that.
Right.
And so one-on-one support and tutoring over time. But, yeah, we're excited about it.
Dude, that is incredible, man. Awesome. Well, shout out to you guys. If people wanted to get involved in your organization, wanted to volunteer, wanted to help out with the cause,
how can I reach out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would say first thing, follow us on Instagram. You can message us on Instagram. We're very good at responding. On our website right now, we have a mailing list, so you should subscribe to our newsletter too. We do a monthly newsletter. We kind of talk about kind of the state of the park, what's going on. And then if you get in touch with us, we have a kind of a volunteer list. So we have about probably every other weekend, just about, we do a volunteer day. So if people want to come and get involved, we'll rake a few trails, get them riding again, and we'll ride those trails.
Kind of break into the trails. Well, you're a month out, man.
Hopefully.
So hopefully fingers crossed.
We're gonna get into that, but hopefully.
Hopefully. Well, I understand you guys have a lot to do to meet that deadline, and man, it sounds super exciting, and just all the things you guys have going for the future. So, thank you for taking time.
Yeah, definitely.